Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. As you are aware, if you've spent any time perusing my videos or coming to my channel here on YouTube, you're aware that I'm a proponent of Uphold. I believe in Uphold. I have a link in my banner and description for Uphold, whereby I believe if you use it in opening accounts, you get a little something, something. I think Bitcoin, I'm not sure, but it's there. But I'm going to address something real quickly here, and that's this Uphold Sweepstakes. It's the 50K XRP Sweepstakes. Now, they had one before, and I think it was 20K. And what I did was I moved a few extra coins onto Uphold from cold storage, but not primarily for the sweepstakes, primarily because I'm expecting a surge to occur in XRP's price here, and I want a sufficient number of bullets already in my gun to decide when to pull the trigger. This is not financial advice, but I recommend that others consider it. I know there's a big push to get off the exchanges, and I've always been a proponent of that as well, you know, especially the exchanges that are a little bit questionable. I've never really had any issues with Uphold. I spoke about Coinbase because they are publicly traded, that I consider them safe. And I've always expressed my reservations about Binance, Binance.us, especially when Brooks left there. You know, that was another clue. But for Uphold and Coinbase, you know, I feel that that's a relatively safe place to have some of your portfolio to be able, like I said, to pull the trigger. And I may come back to this article, but first I want to talk about this right here, this Uphold Sweepstakes, where you earned your XRP Army badge. Disclosure, I ended up being a colonel. I didn't quite make it to a general, brigadier general, or whatever. However, that wasn't the primary reason I did it, but here's the question I want to propose to my audience, and then I want to give a little insight on it, because see, this is DK, we'll talk about it, and I'm a paradigm whisperer. And so I'm going to start this with a question or two that I'm sure will help bring home the point in regards to this Uphold Sweepstakes, and how when the powers that be over the money are ready, they have to figure out a way to corral the regular folks, us. Even if you are, say, like myself, you guys know that I went through the registered representatives of Series 7 and the financial advisor with Finra and everything. But I backed out for a particular reason, which I'll also touch on. Because even if you are what's considered an accredited investor, you have to present evidence of your being accredited. And so by doing, you are identifying yourself. And so that's why I want to talk about this sweepstakes, because my first question is this. Do you think Brad Garlinghouse, Stuart Al-Aradi, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, what's that guy's name? Lubin, Novogratz, Pompano, Woods, Shelton, all very familiar names in the political financial arena, right? Do you think that they care what their rank is in the XRP army? Do you think they are even partly aware of this gimmick to get us to identify ourselves, much like you have to do if you're an accredited investor, much like you have to do if you decide to go into the financial advisement industry as a registered, hear that word, registered representative? And so these sweepstakes, as appealing as they are, there's only going to be one winner. That means the overwhelming majority who enter this sweepstakes, and I'm not saying don't enter the sweepstakes. I'm not saying that at all. You are in it by default in some instances. It's a nice little gimmick. But I'm looking behind the curtain, and behind the curtain, it's finding out where the XRP is. Because not only do you register that it's on Uphold. It is also registered when and if you send it to Uphold as opposed to buying it from Uphold. When you send it, it registers what address it came from. It identifies the address or the wallet from which the XRP made its way to Uphold to earn your Army badge. I guarantee you that those names I listed don't give two hoots about where their rank is in the XRP Army. That gimmick is for the little guy. And even though things like this are anticipated, I'm not really going to cover this because I found it boring, but you get the, it's a highlighter. This is the kind of place you put yourself in, and this was one of the reasons why I did not want to continue to pursue it. Because I don't mind being identified. We're identified when we get our tax documents. We're identified when we get employed. We're identified. But I don't want to have to ask permission to make any investment that I choose to make. And that's what happened to this person here, this ex-Wells Fargo broker over an outside account in his wife's name. Yes, that matters when you're a registered representative who is actively employed by a broker dealer. And this story goes on to say that they fined and suspended a former Wells Fargo advisor in Paramus, New Jersey for maintaining an unreported outside brokerage account in his wife's name, according to a letter of the statement. They didn't like that any more than they like the fact that there's going to be a lot of people who will automatically become accredited investors if they own a substantial amount of XRP, but they don't really know who they are. And so basically, until they get everybody rounded up so that they know where you are, who you are, you see, register their participation. Until they do that, we can't expect too much to happen with the price. Well, there'll be a lot of bait and switch going on because, like I mentioned before in the prior video, they're churning. And I did the one about the train, and the train is tooting its horn and getting started, and it is leaving the station, but it really hasn't left the station, so to speak, so that you can't get on it. Remember the video clips from the India rush hour? Because if it did, the price would be more representative of its value. And it's nowhere close to representing the real value of the token. And so this poor individual, his name is Robert DeHaze, a 27-year industry veteran, accepted a $10,000 fine and 6-month suspension for violating Finra's rule prohibiting brokers from holding an account in which they have a beneficial interest. Now, the beneficial interest is a document that you fill out in the bank, whether you know it or not, when you open a demand deposit account, a checking account type account, or savings account. That's all part of anti-money laundering and KYC right there. Who is the beneficial interest in this account? But it says in which they have a beneficial interest at another firm without their employer's approval. And it's catch-all rule 2010, requiring high standards of conduct according to the letter. Now, if you recall, I did a video in the past where I covered the public comment period for a filing with the SEC, and it mentioned Rule 2010. It'd be too complicated to talk about it now, but the reason I'm sharing this is because I just want to help people have further insight into what's really going on and how they manipulate the masses like sheep. And without any type of savvy background, it just seems like a whole lot of fun. Now, it is a whole lot of fun, and I would love to be the one who wins that 50,000 XRP. Absolutely. No doubt about it. But what it really is, folks, it's an identifying mechanism. Not just identifying who you are, because, see, the Uphold already knows that. But can we bring more XRP into the market out of those cold storage wallets so that we continue to drain off the XRP from the general public. That's what's going on. Because I am convinced they're churning right now. They're churning right now. As I did in prior video, the whales own a lot. So they can make sells and buys and everything to manipulate the price and to play with our heads if we let them. If we let them. And so that's what's really going on with these uphold sweepstakes. And I don't know if this video is going to get any coverage or popularity or not. I get frustrated about that sometimes, and I just put it in park for a minute. But I want to say this, and I'm not discouraging it, but I'm saying keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes open, keep your paradigm adjustable. Billionaires don't care where they rank in the uphold, XRP army, because they are generals, full top level generals, and they don't even know it. So this gimmick is for us. If you know that now going in, and you actually do believe in XRP and you hold on to the cryptos that you believe in, and you actually do find a measure of wealth from doing so, it would pay to start now adjusting your paradigm and perhaps gradually pulling yourself out of the mass mentality that they're playing with right here. I'm DK Will. This is DK. We'll talk about it. I talked about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.